Ladies and gentlemen, pioneers and visionaries, and of course, hackers. Welcome to the Zero Limit Hackathon with Trae AI IDE. Today, we are not just launching an event, we are launching the rocket, the future, and the future of coding the right way, the fast way. My name is Joanna, and I am here to guide you through this challenge and help you prove that hackers innovate faster than the speed of light. With Trae. First, let's go over the hackathon schedule. First up, you'll meet Pavel Czech, CEO of LabLab, who will give his opening words to warm you up for the challenge. After that, you'll meet Gary Key, Developer Relations Manager at Trae AI, so you can meet the real faces behind this revolutionary tool that we'll use throughout the event, Trae. Then we'll hear the opening words from Novita AI, given by given by Jiang Cheng and Zillis. And after hearing from our amazing guests, we'll talk the challenge, technology, success criteria, and prizes. I'll give you a full hackathon guide session to help you navigate through the weekend, step by step, what to do to successfully submit your project. Once I explain to you everything, we'll have amazing series of workshops and Q&A sessions with our amazing guests from Trae, Novita, and Zillis. And if you have questions at 7 p.m. CET, straight after the stream, our Discord Q&A session will be your chance to get real-time answers and support from us. So head there straight after the stream to get any of your burning questions answered. And finally, mark this in bold. Submissions close on Sunday, June 15 at 4 p.m. CET, and this is your deadline to submit your groundbreaking AI solutions. So, here we go. First off, let's welcome our first speaker, Pavel Czech, CEO of LabLab AI. Pavel, the stage is yours.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our next exciting event. We're inviting you to build together with thousands of people that have decided to join us. I think we're nearly at 9,000 people. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our community if you haven't done this before, and if you have, welcome back. I think it's clear to all of us that the way we build and operate software has drastically shifted now. There is no question that AI will dominate the coming years. So this means if you're here, you have already won. You've won a chance to experience new products, a chance to try out new technologies and build something exciting. But more importantly, you have a chance to meet other people that think like you. So I encourage everybody to go out and find an amazing team and create an idea. Talk to the mentors, talk to the people in your team about validating your idea. And we are so happy that you'll be building together with us. I usually say that building is an act of creation, and it's like writing a poem or writing a song, but it's also creating an application, it's also building a website, it's launching a system, launching a company. All of these are acts of creation. Building together makes us stronger. It's great to find people that you can bond with, that you can work with, and I am looking forward for everybody here to have this experience. I think that's very powerful, and it's exciting, and it makes you happy, and that actually makes me happy. So thank you very much for coming over. It's not easy. You're gonna have a hard time. I can tell you that. Nothing is ever easy if it's gonna be good. So pain is part of the process. So embrace the pain, whatever you're trying to put together, and learn how to do it. In the end, if you succeed, it's amazing. But if you don't succeed, it's okay. You can come back and try again. This is the power of technology. It brings us together. It allows us to succeed. It allows us to fail. And we can try again. Without further delay, I would like to say thank you to all of the amazing partners that are supporting this event. Thank you to all the amazing team members that are making this happen. Everybody put in a lot of hard work, and I am really thankful for that. Welcome to Lab. Welcome to your next big thing. And please go ahead and build something amazing, and we will all see it together at the end of the hack.
Thank you so much, Pavel. And now it's time for our guest from Trae, Gary Key, Developer Operation Manager at Trae AI. Gary, the floor is yours.
Hello everyone, welcome to join Lab AI Hackathon with Trae. So today the topic is Trae Zero Limit Hackathon. I'm really happy that you guys can join our hackathon and to build something cool. So first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Gary. I'm currently the Developer Operation Manager of Trae. So my responsibility is to help the people, help the developer to learn to use AI coding and to accelerate the coding process and also building faster. I don't know how many people still doing the traditional coding, but as you can see, if you still like coding without any AI, so it's just like you are using a shovel and still dig the hole, and it's really working in a really slow way. But however, if you are using any like AI coding tool like Trae, so the productivity, I would like to say just like a harvest machine that can help you to literally maybe build 3 times, 5 times, even faster, even more with this. Okay, so what is Trae? Trae is a powerful AI IDE, and Trae is also a leading AI coding IDE in the worldwide, and we're already far beyond another, AI coding tool. And right now, we already, have more than millions user, and so many people they start to use Trae to writing the code rather than just using the VS Code or another, non-AI technical tool. Also, for us, what we can do is there's several features that we can help you to build faster. For example, take a look at this. So this is like Trae AI Builder. You just write a prompt in the right side, and you can see the AI just complete the design process using the pick the HTML and also write the HTML, JavaScript, design in the CSS. So for you, what are you going to do? Just click yes and let the AI to write the code and run the environment, and you can easily to see the whole website just pop up in just several seconds. Okay. Also, we have another user case. You can use the queue. This is one of the feature that we just create. So basically, when you are writing the code, you can take a look over there, and you can see that we going to analyze the code and your intent, your like purpose to see what kind of code you want to write. And in that case, even you don't use the AI builder, you can still write in the code in a really faster way. Also, I would like to highlight that there's several powerful AI model we are offering right now from Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, DeepSeek, and we also offer those most cutting edge model like Cloud4 Sonnet and also Gemini 2.5 Pro. And I will be really happy if you guys try to use it because we have the free plan that everyone can just use Trae to build to see how AI can help you to build faster. Yeah, this is another information that we would like to share. So right now we are the biggest competitor to Cursor in the world. We launched our product for 3 months, have more than 1 million users, and we can help people to improve the productivity in average maybe 2 times to 3 times and even more. And for the technical team, they can probably to save 40% cost in their team. There are some feature I would like to highlight. First of all, is the agent. As you can see, you can use the agent to write the code, complete the environment setup, and also install the package. Also, you can just design your own AI agent. For example, the front end agent, back end agent. So you just write the prompt and connect with different MCP and let it work. And also, sometimes you're working at some big project, you can just use the context so we can understand your project to give a better answer to you. Also, we have the MCP and a rule. So MCP allows you to connect, with different tool. The rule allows you to define the rule to let AI to follow your lead. Another thing we would like to share is we have really competitive price plan. So if you are a free user, you have 10 fast requests and 50 times slow requests for the cutting edge model. But if you already running out, you still have 1,000 requests of the advanced model like Gemini Flash. Also, if you're running all these requests, you can still have 5,000, auto complete to writing the code. It can also help you to write faster. But also, if you just want to, have a try, you want to just use the Trae AI builder to help you writing the code, you can just, try to pay the plan. It's just $3 for the first month. And if you just see the picture in the right side, you can see we are much cheaper than Cursor and a different tool. So how to join the hackathon? Actually, it will be really easy. If you just visit our website, Trae.ai, then you can just download the Trae, and then you use the LabLab account that you just sign up, use them to log in, and then you can start to build the product that you want to build. Also, remember to share the experience that how you use the Trae and what's the experience. You can write them in the in a description, and then you can submit them into the LabLab website. So this is the price that we already have. For everyone, you can join the main challenge that use Trae to build. Then for the first place, you can win $3,000 cash. For the second place, $1,500, and then for the third place, $500. But if you also use another tool like Novita AI and Zillis, you can still try to win their credit just over there. Also, remember to share your journey, and we really want to encourage people to build in public. This is why we have Build on Trae program. So when you build any product or just MVP or something, you can just share your journey as a post, article, video, and remember to tag Trae with Build on Trae. Then we're going to pick those, good user case and give more visibility. So it will probably also increase the probability for you to win the prize. Also, we are building a global fellow community right now. We have a really close connection with this famous school and a lot of different community in the Bay Area. So no matter where you are, if you want to build any event or you want to co-host a hackathon workshop, just let me know. You can just directly contact us. Also, this is our Twitter. You can just follow it. Just scan the QR code in the right side, and you can get the latest information about the Trae. So I do believe there's some people definitely going to ask, for example, if I already running out the free plan, how I can get a higher, LLM limit. So the first thing is you can try to apply the Trae Pro plan with the first month only $3, which is really competitive. And you can also try to join the Trae Agent Hackathon to win the 1 month higher LLM limit. If you join the Trae Discord community, then you will find it out. We're going to pick the people who design the best agent hackathon. In the agent hackathon, then we're going to give you guys more credit. Or another way is you can use the autocomplete. Just use the tab to complete and develop the project. So this is the solution with this. Or if there are some people they say your religion and the country do not support payment, so don't worry with this. You can just turn on the VPN to change your IP. Then you can just go to change your IP to another location. Then you can make a payment. But after that, you don't need to pay anything. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much. If you got any question, you can join our workshop. I'm going to talk about more detail how to use Trae to build. Also, welcome to DM our Trae team anytime. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gary. It's great to have you here, and I'm really curious what people will build with Trae, but I guess everybody will surprise us at this hackathon. And now we've got two more amazing guests with their opening words. Then we'll switch to the hackathon walkthrough. So I'll let you know how to properly proceed with building your project. And then we'll also have three wonderful workshops. So now it's time to welcome our next guest, who is Yunyu Huang, COO of Novita AI. Yunyu, super happy to have you here. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Joanne. Hey, everyone. I'm Jungi. I'm very happy to be here today and very excited for the hackathon and very excited to see what you all come up with and be able to build after the hackathon. I'll talk about a bit what we do at Novita AI. Here at Novita here at Novita, we're building AI cloud for everyone and everywhere. Let's start with the challenge. So, for those of you who have spent any time and dealt with the pain and the hassle of dealing with the infrastructure, hosting GPUs and hosting models on GPUs, optimizing for the model performance, reliability, and cost, um, you can feel kind of the pain and the time that you waste on all those efforts. And so that's why um, we at Novita AI we deliver the most affordable, high performance inference out of the box. And so what that means is we have mainly two-part offerings. One is model API. So for now, we support more than 100 open source models via simple APIs. For example, DeepSeek, Llama, you can just access those models on a platform via just simple APIs that are compatible with OpenAI API standards. Of course, you can also deploy your custom models with us on our infrastructure so that you don't have to deal with any of the hassle of infrastructure again. We also offer GPU Cloud, where you can um, access our high performance GPUs on demand, as well as um, uh, have reservations on suitable number of GPUs if you have large volume of GPUs that you need to use for a product. So currently, we started more than a year ago, and for now, we're proud to process more than 200 billion tokens per day for our customers. And like I mentioned, we support more than 100 models, top open source models. And right now, our developer community has been growing very fast, and we have now over 230,000 registered users on the platform. And we are also one of the first and few inference providers to have guaranteed uptime for our LLM APIs. We're very fortunate to be working with some of the fastest growing AI companies and open source partners. For example, we're one of the official inference providers on Hugging Face. We also work very closely with the open source inference engines projects like VRM and SGLang. And we're very happy to work with Laptop AI as well as Trade and Zillis as well to host this hackathon for you guys. And and with that, we're happy to provide a free API credits for $20 on us. It's entirely free. You don't need to um, you know have credit card to use this. Um, it will be giving away the free credits for the first 3,000 uh, hackers. So make sure to claim them while they last, and simply just visit novita.ai/0limit to claim the credits. Right after that, you'll be able to use more than 100 close to 100, I believe, LM models with API on our platform. And we're also happy to provide our um, Novita Awards. We'll pick top 3 teams that use any of our API products the first winner will get awarded 115 um, 115 in our cloud credits, and the second prize will get $7, and the third prize will get $300. So make sure to come up with great ideas to incorporate our APIs into your projects. And with that, happy hacking, and feel free to just reach out over LinkedIn or email or our official channels. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very looking forward to seeing what you guys build.
Thank you so much, Junior. It's great to have you here. And before we dive deep into the Hackathon Challenge and introduce our next guest, I wanted to highlight the Novita AI credits that you can simply grab to use them during the hackathon. So let's talk about how to supercharge your projects. So as a reminder, we are giving away 3,000 API keys from Novita AI for $20 in credits. So this is $20 to play with the top tier open source LLMs through Novita AI. So how to get your hands on this? First of all, you've got the QR code that you can now see on your screens. Simply scan it and you can get the code from there, or simply hit up novita.ai/0limit to get the code. Or we also have this link available on the event page, the same page that you used to register for the hackathon. So there's so many ways to get it. Simply go and get it, because we only have 3,000 keys for 3,000 people who get it first. So simply, do it right now. Keep playing this stream on desktop and on your mobile. Click it through to get your credits. You can simply register to that page. You don't need any promo code, so we've made it very seamless to you. And your vouchers are available right now. Okay, and that's it about the credit. If you have any questions, you can simply hit up our Discord server, and we are there to help you, or simply ask about them on the Q&A session that we will have after. And now I'd love to welcome our next guest, who is Jiang Chen, Director of DevRel and Ecosystem at Zillis. So Jiang, happy to have you. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Joanna, for the introduction. My name is Jiang Chen, and I came from Zillis. So Zillis is actually a company behind the open source vector database called Milvus. Several years ago, when we founded the company, we had the mission of helping organizations to make sense of the unstructured data. And since then, it has been hell a ride. So we now have over 100 employees distributed across the globe and headquartered in Redwood City, California, USA. We have also raised over 100 million of funding to support this mission that we're having. So we are, after a few years of work on the building the open source vector database Milvus and its fully managed service called Zillis Cloud. We are so honored to be named as the leader in the vector database space. So Milvus is so far the most popular vector database on GitHub. So we are so honored to receive over 30K stars. I think now we have just surpassed 35,000 stars on GitHub, and over 400 contributors from all over the world are building this high performance and scalable vector database. So Milvus is known for its performance and scalability. It's not built for it's not only built for any vector search load. It's really designed to scale in production so that you can trust this for your mission critical workload, powering your business with exponential growth. So what makes this performant is a lot of research and careful engineering optimizations behind the scene. So we have published the paper about Milvus architecture and indexing algorithm in top tier conference like Sigmod and VLDB. So through the journey, we have also learned from our users and paid customers on this cloud so that we can continuously improve the architecture design and also the system implementation of Milvus. So Milvus has recently released 2.6, which is a major milestone in our journey to build a highly performant, scalable, and also affordable vector database solution. Um, so throughout the years, we have been working with our users, and there are over 5,000 enterprise users and over 10,000 individual developers using Milvus to power their AI workload. Some notable companies including Salesforce, PayPal, AT&T, and Deloitte. So if you are building a startup, welcome to use Milvus. If you are just new to RAG development or AI development in general, feel free to try it out. We actually provide different deployment modes. So if you are just getting started, we recommend using Milvus Lite, which is a local library that you can run in Python and your notebook. It doesn't require a lot of resources. It's good for experimenting and prototyping. If you have a large workload, you can choose the standalone mode on Docker or distributed mode on Kubernetes. And the most powerful distributed version will scale you all the way up to 10 billion vectors and beyond. So that's everything I would like to introduce about Zillis and Milvus. Um, we are so happy to be part of this hackathon. And later on, I will share a workshop that on building AI-powered search for your AI applications. Stay tuned for that. Um, well, other than that, I hope you enjoy this hackathon and build the application that can power millions of users. Thank you, Joanna.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Jiang. It's great having you here. And I think after the whole round of the opening words from our amazing partners, everybody who's watching us right now is fully ready to start building. But before we start building, I want to properly introduce you to the proper how to at this hackathon. So, the full tutorial on how to properly submit your project and how the challenge is very, very open, so you can really let go of your creativity. However, remember that the core requirement is to use Trae. So this challenge is simply your playground to innovate, break new grounds, and to show the world what happens when human ingenuity meets cutting edge AI. And a very important question is, how do you actually win this hackathon? Here's what the judges are looking for. There's four main criteria that structured and engaging. So it actually makes a difference for the judges. So when you submit your project, you'll be asked to also submit a 5-minute video where you present how your prototype works. So the judges would really appreciate that if you actually clearly say in the presentation and the project description how you utilize Trae, Novita, or Zillis. It will be way easier to judge the project, and you've got higher chances to not get disqualified when you clearly say how you use the required tech. Then the other two criteria that we're going to judge is first, business value. So your project needs to have a real world impact and practical value. And then originality. Remember that creativity is the key, and as the challenge is very wide in here and broad, you can really go creative. So judges are looking for unique, innovative approaches that really push AI beyond the ordinary. So keep them in mind as you build. And if you need to go back to that, remember that you'll find all the judging criteria on the event page that you used to register. And now let's talk about what's at stake, the hackathon prizes. So for the champions of this hackathon, the first and then we also had a side challenge for you before this hackathon. So for the top 3 people who recommended the event to their friends and submitted their referrals by June 11th, when we distributed the survey, you'll get a $150 prize. So if you filled out the survey and you dropped your friends who you invited, we'll simply check it, and on the winners stream, we'll announce these winners as well. And now it's time for the hackathon walkthrough. So for our seasoned hackers, you've been here, done that, and you know the drill. So feel free to sit back for a moment. But for all the first timers in the house, listen up. This is important, and the steps I'm going to share will be your ultimate guide to forming teams, navigating the platform, and successfully submitting your project. So how does it work step by step? Step 1, you need to build or join a team. So teams can be from 1 up to 6 people. So whether you're creating your own dream team or joining one, trust me, it's way more fun to collaborate than to go solo. So teamwork equals more ideas, more laughs, and better results. Step 2, get organized on Discord. Once you've got your squad ready, you should create a private channel on Discord. So you can actually talk with your team members wherever you'd like, but remember that all official support and mentor help happens on our Discord, so keep the channel buzzing. Then step 3, brainstorm your ideas. Before you start building, it's really important. Come up with 2 to 3 solid concepts for your project, so you can really go creative, and then ask what our mentors think about it. So you can run your ideas by our mentors for feedback, get some guidance, and the all important green light to start building. And the insights can really take your project from good to groundbreaking. So it's really worth asking before you start building. And then step 5 is, of course, start building. So build your prototype, collaborate with your team, and you've got 48 hours for that. And then the final step, submitting your masterpiece. When the clock runs out on Sunday, submit your solution and product presentation on our LabLab AI platform. And remember to make your presentation shine and to clearly highlight how you use the tech, which is Trae, Novita, and Zillis, into your solution. And remember that this hackathon is just the beginning, and use this opportunity to create something that you can continue building ever after. And everything to know about participating is actually covered in our LabLab AI guide. And the hackathon, you'll be able to create or join the team. So to do that, press the button on the bottom of the event page and you'll be transferred to your dashboard where you'll be able to create a new team. But if you're actually looking for a team, you can simply scroll down and you will see the list of teams that are currently looking for team members. And remember that in order to see that list, first you need to connect your account to your Discord account. So your LabLab account and the Discord account are both connected, and finding a team will be way easier. So if the team is looking for members, you can use the chat window on the team page to communicate with them, and you can introduce yourself and simply ask if you can join. Or you can use another option, which is clicking the button Join Team and wait for the group leader's approval. Remember that we are here for you. I mean, our mentors, who are here to simply support you all the time. And you can find them on our Discord channel, which is Mentors. And if you have any questions during the hackathon, you can simply go to our Discord and tag Mentor, and they will get a notification that you need help, and they'll simply get back to you to help you as soon as they can. And at the end of the hackathon, you'll need to submit your project. So first, scan the QR code on the slide, and you'll find there an article with a detailed description on how to your project so the judges clearly know which kind of tech you used. If you need any help, please remember that we are always here to help you. So don't hesitate to reach out to us on Discord or simply tag a mentor on Discord and they'll be there for you. And if you want to win this hackathon, you're in the right place because we've got
again. Let me
Sure.
pull my slides here. Please also show that. Just once.
Yep. So streamer. Okay. So everything is in place, and we can start, right, Emmanuel?
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
Perfect.
thanks,
Then.
thanks, Jordan. Hi, everyone. Really excited to be here. I'm Jiang from Zillis again. I would like to introduce a bit more on how to build AI-powered search in your application. So, I'm right now responsible for the developer relations and solution architecture at Zillis. So just to set up the stage for today's talk, right? So before we talk about how to build search in today's AI context, how did traditional search work for the past 2 decades or even more than that? So traditionally, search usually composed of two parts. One is the offline indexing, and the other part is the online serving. So just think of as a library, right? So if you want to retrieve a book from the library, usually you need to build index. You need to sort the books by their topics, by their writers, authors, years, everything. And you also need to have the book being sorted and stored somewhere. So the search, for example, web search works not so much different than that. So for example, for web search, prepare the information by crawling the web documents from the World Wide Web, and then put them. You probably want to process that so that you can extract all kinds of labels and label the and get the keywords, and then build them into an index. And this index will be used as the central repository to serve your search request. And then after you have this, you're ready to serve your users. The user asks a query, for example, I want to search for the best hackathon in the world. And they type in this query and then they hit the search engine interface. Could be some UI or could be, a large language model chatbot nowadays. And this search will be served by looking up the information from this index, get all the related stuff, and optionally going through a re-ranking phase so that maybe there's more sorting based on the business logic of your product, and then eventually being returned to the AI, to the UI, and then rendered to the end users. Everything seems fine, other than one thing, which is the search quality may not always match your expectation. For example, you might be searching for a word, but this word is not literally showing up in the document that you are looking for. And that's where vector database come into play. So together, vector database works with um, embedding model that generates vector based on visual or textual content. And this information can be used for search. And that can give you a great property, which is that if the semantic of the things are similar, their vector space, their vector distance in the high dimensional space is also small. So that by leveraging this great property, the vector database can actually give you back the semantically closest information, despite that the information may not literally mention the words that you are referring to. And this is a great shift of paradigm in search. So think of this example. Let's say if you are searching for a proofing bride, in traditional search, this is being done by first tokenize this into different words and maybe optionally doing some stemming so that proofing and proof, they are treated as the same word. But anyways, eventually you got a bunch of tokens, and those tokens are being literally matched with your target, with your candidate documents. Let's say if you have another word which is rising though showing up in the documents, and by searching for proofing bride can actually not return rising though because they don't have any word matching each other. And moreover, sometimes for visual search, traditionally the way we do this is by extracting textual labels from that. So for example, both of these, Apple the fruit and Apple the company, the tech company, they all contain the word Apple in the extracted textual labels. And when you search Apple, let's say I search for Apple, the company that builds the iPhone. It doesn't really distinguish the Apple fruit or Apple the company because this label doesn't really carry it. And so all of these are great challenges in traditional search, and this is now tackled by semantic search powered by embedding model and vector database. Well, how is this possible? This is actually done by the magic power of machine learning models. So embedding model is a special machine learning model and specifically a deep learning model. So the embedding model can take input such as text or image or anything, and then convert the input into a vector or a bunch of numbers which represent a point in the high dimensional space. And this point can actually represent the semantic of these things. So for example, for this example embedding model, you can actually map the icons of chicken, of cat, banana, Apple the fruit, Apple the company, Google the company. You can actually map those into a highly dimensional space. For simplicity here, we just use three-dimensional space, but in reality, usually it's 512 dimension. It could be 1500. It could be 3000. So that's really high dimension. And the distance of those vectors will reflect the semantic relation of them. So let's say banana and Apple the fruit, they are close to each other, but banana and Apple the company are actually further away, spreading across the dimensional space. So this great property, together with vector database, it can be used for semantic search. And usually the way we construct a semantic search pipeline is, first of all, you need to input the unstructured data such as image, video, text into the embedding model, and you need to choose an embedding model that works with your data type. And then this embedding model will generate vectors, and those vectors will be stored in vector database so that later on they can be used for similarity search. And the search is done by specifying a target vector, and the target vector is actually converted by the same embedding model from your textual or a textual query or query expressed by an image. And then this vector database is responsible for searching all of the closest points in this high dimensional space. We call it top K. So usually you specify get me 10 closest points or get me 100 closest point. And it can return the points together with the information represented by those points, be a image URL, or it could be a piece of text, and together with all of the labels that you stored with that. So a great application of this is retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. You have probably heard about RAG so many times. This is such a hype word right now. And the way that it works is just like traditional search, it has the offline indexing phase and online query phase. So for the offline indexing, you need to build you need to input all of the documents you have and pass them through the embedding model and then store them in the vector database as your knowledge base. And once you have that, this is ready for serving your user's request. So the user could ask a question in natural language, and this question is being converted to a target vector by the same embedding model. And then this target vector is being searched in this high dimensional space, and all of the top vectors are in terms of the similarity distance metric will be returned, and those information behind those, which are typically text chunks, are being assembled into additional context and being supplied to large language models so that it can give you a grounded and higher quality answer. Another example is actually code search, right? So just similar to document search. For code search, you need to index all of your code base into a repository and then search and then serve the code search request. And a lot of the great the great coding tools such as a Trae are actually built with this technology behind. Here's a high level, really simple demo for that. And the idea is that you need to have a code indexer that process the code base and then send them to embedding models to generate vectors, and then you store those vectors in the vector database. Um, at query time, you want to search through this vector database for the code snippets, and then um, compose the uh, either the search results by rendering them in the UI, or you could supply them to large language model. For example, it can help you do some code generation based on the code snippet search from the code base. Um, Embedding model and vector database, it doesn't only apply to textual information. It can also apply to multimodal information. For example, this is a multimodal search leveraging special embedding models that can take both text and image as an input. This example is taking the text toy, is taking this image, which is a construction machine, and also the text toy of this. So this actually together express a search intention. Instead of finding another machine, construction machine, I actually want to find a toy that looks like this. And the search result is amazingly reflecting this search intention. So instead of returning for example, the construction machine in the snowy weather, it actually returns the toys as top results. But remember that semantic search, it rarely is a it doesn't necessarily give the result that you want. So because it essentially is a fuzzy search, right? There's no real mathematical definition of semantic. Everything is based on training, it's based on statistic, it's based on the distribution of the data. So that for this case, despite the results from top 1 to top 4 are actually exactly matching the intention that a human being may understand, the fifth result is actually kind of distant from this. Later on, we can run. Actually, why not right now? Let me see if I can share this. Later on, I will show a demo, a real world demo of this, so that we can play with it and get a feeling of the semantic search in the visual content space. So lastly, I want to introduce another great tool, which is agentic search. Let me see if this shows up. So this deep searcher is a experimental project that we have built after OpenAI released their deep researcher, their deep research function. So basically, what's powering deep research is agentic search. So it actually comprehends the search query, and I divide that into a few subqueries, and then doing interactive search to gradually approach the real answer. And then it leverage the large language models reasoning capability to do self-reflection to kind of decide whether this search result is actually satisfying the query intention expressed by the user query. So we built a prototype for this so that developers can build upon this and then power their application with this great technology. And it's a really a development on top of the basic RAG architecture that we have that I have just shared. The difference is that it will actually, instead of doing one single search, it will actually repeatedly and interactively do this with the help of large language model. So the way it works is for the data ingestion or offline indexing is actually the same, right? You just source all of your information from different channels, then use embedding model and then stuff them into the vector database. And then for during online serving time, that's where the magic happens. Given a user query, first use large language model to reason about the query. What does the user really want? For example, if the user is asking what's the difference between A and B, instead of directly searching for this literal text, it will comprehend this intention behind that, which is I need to search for information related to A and then search for information related to B and then do a comparison of them. So it will actually divide the user's query into a few subqueries, embed those into vectors, and then search stuff in the vector database. Then after getting the result from this semantic search, it will use large language model to reflect on those results. By doing this, so they can check maybe the results I get from A is not comprehensive enough, so that I will search another few queries such as what about A's perspective X and A's perspective Y. So it will further break down this search into a few subqueries and then do this again until it is satisfied with the results. And then it will comprehend all of the results by doing reasoning and comparison of the results, and then eventually return uh, the thoughtful answer to the user as a final report. So this is very powerful, but it's also very slow because it involves so many steps, and there's large language model generating tokens in between the search process. So usually empirically, the vector search latency is between a few milliseconds to 100 milliseconds. So for example, Milvus is very uh, is designed for high performance. If you configure it correctly, it can actually return the results within a few milliseconds. And then the large language model for generation usually takes a few 100 milliseconds, depends on how long the token is. But this will having large language model in between the search process will actually exponentially grow the search latency, so that the search experience won't be like instantly there's a result available. So just bear in mind this sacrifice when you try to get the great benefit of this, which is that will actually reflect on search result and give you a more comprehensive answer. Okay, so lastly, I would like to show a quick introduction of Milvus and Zillis Cloud's API. So Milvus and Zillis Cloud, they are actually sharing the same API. Zillis Cloud is just a fully managed version of Milvus with a more powerful indexing engine called Cardinal. But other than that, from user's perspective, the usage is actually the same. The only difference is that for Milvus, you actually need to deploy this, but for Zillis Cloud, you just need to sign up and create a cluster, and then everything is done for you. You can start building. So I will mainly talk about the API here. That's because that's the shared part. I highly recommend you to register this cloud account and then try it out in the hackathon, because you don't need to deal with the deployment of a vector database on either Docker or Kubernetes. And for this cloud, it also has the free tier, which is good for storing 500,000 vectors, which is a lot of information. So on the client side, after you got a Zillis Cloud account or a locally run Milvus, you can actually pip install the PyMilvus, which is the client library. And then, excuse me, and then you can Okay, thanks for the reminder. No. Yeah, sorry. It seems there was some lag, but you can first install PyMilvus. This is the Python SDK of Milvus and Syscloud. And then after you get this, you just need to import the Milvus client, and then you can establish the client collection. So if you want to quickly prototype, you can just specify the name of the local file. This is actually very convenient. You don't need to install or run anything, and it has a in-memory vector database before. So if you use this cloud and Milvus server deployed on Docker or Kubernetes, you can actually specify the server credentials here, the endpoint and the token. And then you need to create a collection to store all of your data and specify at least the dimension of the vectors. Better, you need to specify the schema, but we'll leave it to shortly after this. And then once you have the collection, you can start to prepare the data. Remember that you need an embedding model to generate vectors. So you can choose a lot of tools. You can run local embedding models by downloading the model weights and then use, for example, Hugging Face to do the inference. You can also use OpenAI's embedding model service. Regardless of which one you use, eventually you need to convert your information into vectors by running inference on these embedding models. So in this example, we're embedding a few text pieces. Then using this embedding model, we get an array of vectors. And after that, you can stuff the information into Milvus. Usually in Milvus, you need to carefully design your schema. For this simple case, we'll just define the ID field, which identifies the vector and the information associated with it. We call this thing an entity, and then this entity needs to have vector. Also carries the text where the vector is generated from, so that when searching for the vectors, it can return the text back, so that you can render that on your UI. We can also store other labels such as text or integer, array, JSON. Milvus actually support a lot of non-vector data types. With this data type, with the data prepared, now you can insert the data into the vector database, and you need to embed your query into a vector as well. And after you have that, you just need to specify the query vector and other specifications, such as you can also do metadata filtering, filter based on the value of non-vector fields, and then specify what output fields you want. For example, in this case, we want both text and subject, but we're not. We don't really care about the vector itself. We only care about the text behind those vectors. In this case, I don't specify vector as an output, and then it can output the results. So in this example, we are asking who's Alan Turing, and the result actually ranks the top two as born in Maida Valley, London. Turing was raised in southern England. Something about Turing's background. Also, Alan Turing was the first person to conduct substantial research in artificial intelligence. So, as you can see, the least relevant result, which is artificial intelligence, was founded as something. This wasn't returned as the top two results, because semantically it's actually less related to the query, who is Alan Turing. So that's the quick demo on Milvus. If you want to design more complex search applications, you can refer to this tutorial, which is Data Model Design Quick Start. It will actually go through how to design the data model for multi-model search, such as you are designing a search system for the web pages, which contains title and some labels, an image, and then textual description. If you have this complex data structure, you need to carefully think about your data schema in Milvus vector database. And this is a great guide to do that. We also have a lot of great hands-on tutorials here. covering things from building RAG, of course, and also full text search and hybrid search. Some people like to use semantic search and full text search together, and also image search, multi-model search, and also graph RAG if you are curious about that. And things like movie recommendation and and video or audio similarity search. So that's all of the things I would like to share. If you have any questions, feel free to go to websites. One is the Limits.io that I'm showing here. It has a lot of great tutorials and documentation. And if you are using this cloud, you can sign up on zillis.com/cloud and start to use your free tier clusters. Okay, that's all I want to share, and have fun in the hackathon. I hope you will build cool applications.
Thank you so much, Yang. And actually, that one coming from the chat, which is, what tuning parameters are used to drive the number of iterations in the model that you showed?
The question about the deep searcher, sorry.
Oh, yeah. So
in
essentially,
this
what tuning
searcher,
parameters are used?
If you're asking about deep searcher, and then they say it's actually decided by LM. So there's in this workflow, you can specify the maximum amount of iterations in this search workflow. And usually it's LLM is deciding, oh, I have found satisfying answer after 3 rounds of search, despite the max limit of the search is 10 rounds. So it really depends on you. You have full control on this. But within your within the max limit that you have set, large language model will actually make the call for you.
Thank you so much, Yang. I think that opens the question very well, and this workshop was amazing. I truly enjoyed that because my knowledge about this search with LLMs is very limited. However, there's a fun fact: when you ask Perplexity a basic question, who organizes best hackathons, it gives you a straight answer, lab. That's what I know. Thank you so much, Yang. It's great to have you here. And I really hope, guys, after this workshop, everybody who's watching us, you'll make the best use of Zillis and Milvis during the hackathon. And we really cannot wait to see the solutions that you built. And now it's
Hi, I'm Ting from Novita AI. We are the open source LLM provider. And I'm happy to show you that how to use the LLM APIs from our platform so you can build your AI apps. Okay, after login, you'll see this page. It's in console. And you can click here, explore model APIs. Then here you have it, all the models that you can use. Okay, let's say I want to use DeepSeek R1 0528 to build my app. I can click in and it will show you the ability of this model. You can see the context, the max output tokens, and the supported capabilities. I'm sure this is going to be useful. And how to integrate this to your app, you can click the API documentation here. So it'll jump to our docs, and you can see that's the how-to guide here. And if you are still not able to use our APIs, feel free to reach out to us on Discord channel. We have 24/7 client support, so feel free to ask any question. And let's go back to the model page. What if I want to try the model before I integrate it? You can click try it now and type something like, what do you want for dinner? Okay, so I don't eat blah, blah, blah. So you get the answer. You have an idea of how it would respond. So yeah, feel free to test it out at our playground. And you can also switch models very easily here. So yeah, I think that's it for the how to use the LLM APIs. And later, Nick, our full stack developer, is going to our full stack developer, Nick, he's going to show you the real life example of how the API could build.
Hey guys, it's Nick from Novita. Today I'm going to be demoing one of my old hackathon projects for ParaVC Anthropic called Breaking Good. The context for this is one of our team members back then was affiliated with Berkeley's Neural Systems and Machine Learning Lab. And while collaborating there, they observed that early stage neuropharma researchers routinely spend weeks, even months, on ad hoc processes, right? Manually aggregating literature searches, crafting simulation scripts, and estimating regulatory timelines. This fragmentation imposes a significant bottleneck on innovation, slows the path from hypothesis to candidate compound. So, given our collective expertise in artificial intelligence and machine learning, we had originally built this using Claude, but I iterated and improved upon it using the Novita AI LLM suite. And I just wanted to give a quick demo for you guys. So, Breaking Good seamlessly integrates multiple data sources and computational tools. The platform performs using the following key functions. Uh, One, it can retrieve and parse literature. We use the Crossref API to pull full text neuroscience papers from Google Research. And we feed those documents into Qwen 3.5 via the Novita AI API. And that digests the material and extracts pertinent mechanistic insights. We can also query PubChem and ChemBL for chemical structures and known bioactivities. And we launch RDKit-powered Python scripts to simulate binding affinity, predict toxicity profiles, estimate synthetic yields, and evaluate stability. And these simulations run inside a Node.js backend. Um, and after receiving both a system prompt set by our platform's business logic and a user prompt entered interactively, Qwen 3.5 synthesizes information from literature and chemical databases and proposes a SMILE string as candidate molecules, providing step-by-step rationales, explicit justifications, and on-the-fly visualization. And simultaneously, at the end, you will see Qwen 3.5 through specialized thinking prompts generates a really high-level regulatory roadmap, forecasting FDA approval timelines and even gauging production feasibility. So for this, it uses MCP, or Model Context Protocol, to query academic and patent databases, and it basically surfs the web under controlled, semantically guided prompts. So let's get started straight into the demo. Go here, have a little bit of an intro page, but the real star of the show is the molecule designer. So we go here and we ask it, simulate Adderall in a manner that is available to general consumers with as few side effects as possible. We give it this prompt. And right now, Qwen is going to generate some candidate molecules, and we'll see that in a second here. Okay, perfect. So as we can see, we now have a molecule candidate, right? I'd like to mention that when we generate with AI here, we set a pretty high token and temperature limit, just so we can get some degree with reproducibility when hitting generate with AI on the same prompts. But just to scroll down a little bit, we get a little bit of a justification on some of the properties. We can scroll down to the bottom here, and it uses the selected molecule as context. And we can actually utilize this chatbot to ask it more questions. So see up there, we have molecule candidate 2. So now say, tell me about the properties of this molecule. Send. Now Now Quen will analyze that. And give us a nice little answer here. So bring it up here. I think I might have a few too many programs in VS Code open at the moment. But as we can see, we have a nice API response here telling us about the molecule candidate that we just generated. Now, navigating back to the top, we can copy this mouse format right here for this molecule candidate. And let's look through the rest of the program. Right here is one of my favorite components called the structure editor. So by pasting in the smiles format of a molecule, we can actually enter catcher editor. And I can just quickly navigate over a little bit and expand this. Now we can do a couple more things. We can visualize this in 3D like this. Even if we want, we can visualize the hydrogen bonds right here. We can add on or edit the structure, create bonds on our own. And this is basically for researchers to iterate upon the molecules that AI generates, right? Obviously, we've just kind of messed up what we had earlier there, but let's load it back in. And on top of that, you can go to macromolecules. And here we have a bunch of sugars, bases, phosphates, nucleotides, and more presets that we can basically input in order to manipulate the structure of this molecule candidate that we've developed. Here we have a bunch of saved from the generation. As you can see, you'll get a preview for each one you select. But let's move into the rest of the program. Now we can go to the simulations page. By entering a smiles format, we can run a simulation on receptor binding affinity right here, as we can see, and view molecule properties. Now, scrolling up again, we can also run a simulation on ADMET properties. Right there. And we get a nice visualization with the relevant parameters. Now, on top of that, here is our literature explorer. As I described earlier, using the Crossref API, you can search for literature related to Adderall. Now we go here, we can hit Analyze and Add Note. We open our Notes tab here. Quen will analyze this article in full and then basically add a little summary for the user. You can go back to list and also add our own personal notes, Adderall content, cool article, add note, and we can tab that out. Now, going over to our comparison tool, we can compare the properties of a bunch of our candidates. So let's say I select candidate 1 and candidate 4, compare them. This is an analog process, but as we can see, differences are calculated in the molecular weight, number of rotatable bonds, numberings, formula, Lipinski violations, etc. So that's a cool use case for this program. And lastly, we can run a regulatory analysis. And this is the part of the program that uses Model Context Protocol in order to traverse a few databases and get us a relevant analysis on FDA approval and regulatory pathways. As we can see, we can give it a second. And now we get a nice executive summary, patent landscape, regulatory pathway, market exclusivity, etc. And that pretty much sums up the Breaking Good program. This is an old hackathon project. Obviously, I just improved a little bit upon some parts using Quen. But I really wanted to just show you what's possible using a couple of LLMs today. And I thought computational biology was a really cool use case for it. But keep a lookout for some of the projects we'll be building using Novita, and stay tuned.
Oh God, what a great workshop. Another one. Thank you so much to the Novita team for preparing that. And to everybody watching us, I hope you really take the real use of it during the hackathon. And a reminder to everybody who just tuned in, remember that we've got $3,020 codes for Novita AI credits available for you. So if you want to grab them, simply go to the event page, the same one that you used for registration, to grab them, because there's only 3,000 of them, and we've almost got 10,000 people who registered for this event. So the sooner you take it, the better off you are set for this hackathon. And now it's time for the last workshop.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to join our Trae workshop. So the topic today I would like to bring is the future of building. So we're going to talking about like how AI coding is transforming product development with Trae. So over there, we're going to talk about some insight and some change in the technology area, that how those people, especially in the Silicon Valley, how those like top founder, top engineer, how they use AI coding to improve their productivity. I'm going to talk about some use case, and also we have some discussion. Another thing is I also going to share, how to use the tray. I'm going to explain the different feature in more detail. Okay, so who I am, I will do it again because my name is Gary. My name is Gary. I'm currently the developer operation manager of Trae. Okay, so Sam Altman, he used to say that one person's $1 billion company will happen. I think one of the reasons that he can say this is because he see the potential that how AI can literally improve the huge productivity of everyone, especially in the AI coding area. So another question is, how does the startup team looks like in the age of AI coding? Because I'm staying at Bay Area. Over there, I meet so many top founder and those amazing talented people. Actually, I just get some really shock in them, and Okay, so what does a startup team they looks like in the age of AI coding? Because I'm stay at the Silicon Valley, and I see so many people they use AI coding, and they can deliver their product maybe 3 times or even 5 times faster than normal people. And some people they say right now if he want to hire an engineer, so the basic standard is he can at least ship over 10,000 lines of code and per week, and also burn hundreds of dollars in AI coding daily, and also operate with a 1/3 of the size of a traditional developer team, not that much people, but can also achieve probably 5 times individual productivity. So how people they do this? So I would like to say if the people they still like use the VS Code or just don't use any AI to help them to coding, they just like use the shelves, right? So it's really slow. But the people they use AI coding, that it just like has the AI's help. You can save a lot of time on the the repeat word, and you can just let AI to generate a bunch of code and what for you. What you need to do, just like click yes, and then the code will just like generate and run it. So let's take a look of a video. Fantastic. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, so Trae is AI IDE. So we base on VS Code, fork our own version, and plus our AI agent ability over there. So this is why we can help developers to build much faster and easier. So also we launched our product for 3 months and we already got more than millions of users. And we also the biggest competitor for the cursor right now. We have so many features that we want to highlight. First of all, we have the agent that you basically can help you to design, generate the code, can also set up the environment and download the package. So it can help you to save a lot of time. You can also design your own AI agent with different personality or different capability. Also, we have the text, which is really important actually for your AI to understand your project and generate the correct code for you. You can just click the hashtag and then they will just understand the related file or related workspace. In the left side, there's MCP. Actually, we have an MCP marketplace. We got so many MCP already. You can just easily to configuration. For example, the GitHub MCP, Figma MCP, and probably also some database MCP. So your AI agent can basically connect with this MCP, has some specific ability. Also in the rule, you can set up a rule to let the trade follow your own coding style. You can just write it and set it up. So why trade? I think there are 5 main reasons. So first of all, we offer really powerful AI coding ability. And another thing is we have really good UI UX experience because we don't want to try become really tacky and a really jig app. So we let people enjoy it. And no matter it's a button, no matter it's a task, every detail that we put a lot of effort on it. Another thing is we can also easily to support VS Code extension. As I said before, we based on VS Code to fork our own version. So if you have your favorite extension, you can just easily to migrate to Trae. Also, we support multimodal, which means you can just give the image or give the design to the Trae, and then Trae can just follow the design to write related code. Also, we support the major language right now. Another thing is Troy also offer a much competitive price than another tool. So you can see as a free user, you got a 10 faster request and also 50 slow request for this amazing model like Cloud 4 and the Gemini 2.5. So if you're running out of these requests, you're probably going to jump into a queue. Then if they don't have too much people, you're probably going to just wait a while and then you can use the AI again. But if you're already running out of this, amazing models credit, you can still have 1,000 time request of advanced model. For example, Gemini 2.5 Flash. Also, we also have 5,000 times autocomplete per mouse. So you can just use tab or our tray can still, analyze your code and also give the suggestion to you. What do you need to do? Just click tab and then the code will just come out. Also in the right side, our plan is pretty competitive, as I said. So for every month is $10 compared with Cursor. We're much cheaper and it's really competitive. We also give more faster requests to you. Also for the first month is only $3. So which is really easy for everyone to access the AI ability. There's some benefit that we would like to summarize because we got a lot of feedback from our community. Some developers say try at least to improve their 3 times to 4 times efficiency. For the technical team, we improve their productivity 2 times to 3 times. And for the company, probably save around 20% to 50% the cost. And another thing is for the product manager and the UX designer, they can just easily to use Trae to write the code, even they have no any coding experience. So talk is trip, show me your code. I'm just going to open the Trae and have a demo case. Okay, we can take a look. This is our Trae design. Over there, we can just write a simple prompt. For example, I can say, hey, make a snake game. So I just write a normal prompt and then the trader will start to analyze They say they will use the Python and the Py game to write this game. Then it start to thinking and generating the code right now. So let it thinking about this. Over there, you can see we have so many models, Cloud 3.5, 3.7, and also the most popular one is the Cloud 4, which is really good. Also, we have Gemini 2.5 Pro. Also, is really advanced model over there. Also, we have the GPT 4.1 and also DeepSeek. Also, this is the Gemini 2.5 Flash. So you can just pick the model that you really like. If you say, hey, I don't want to use this model, what I can do, you can also click the add model. You can pick different cloud provider over there. For example, Open Router, and pick the model that you like. Then you can just leave your API key over there. You don't have to pay the prompt. You can still use the Trae to run the AI to write in the code. Okay, you can see all this code just coming out, and you can just click review. You can just see the code they generate. For you, what you need to do, you can just click accept. Then each step you can see the code they generate, and then this is the terminal. You can just click run, and you will see they just running the Python to run this game. For some people, they can just click accept all. Okay, you can see this is the web coding game that generated by AI, which is pretty cool. I didn't do anything. I also don't know Py game, but they can just write in the code. Also, you can just do something to make some change. For example, you can say, I want to make the snake move slower, for example. Close it and just say this. I want to make the snake game move slower, and let's see what's going to happen. Then AI started thinking. He said, I need to check the current snake game code. And then I will modify the snake game speed variable to make the snake move slower. So the AI is working right now. Okay. For you, what you need to do, you just click accept all, and then the code will just generate it. And they also run in the terminal over there. So it looks like they meet some problem, but don't worry, Trae can also have some self-checking process. Let's see. This is the updated version. So we can clearly to see they just move slower. Okay. So right now you can see this is the agent ability. So you can create your own agent. For example, you want to create a front-end agent, then you can just put name over there and write some prompt. Or you want to give a different ability to this agent, you can just click the MCP. For example, you can go to our MCP market. You can see we have so many different MCP already. We have Figma AI agent, Figma AI MCP. We have Slack, which means your AI IDE can also connect with Slack, probably to access some, let me see, some users information, some channel history. Also, you can connect with GitLab, AWS, Google Drive. So basically, there's a lot of things you can do. Or you say, hey, I have my personal MCP. We also give the feature that you can just do a configuration over there. Then you can easily connect with MCP that you want to use. Yeah, it's over there. This is the DIY agent. You can just do that. And another feature we would like to say is you can use the hashtag to understand the context. So for example, I can just do this and click the snake in. I can ask the question about the code. I can say, hey, tell me more about this code. So at the beginning, we use the builder. The builder going to write in the code to create a file. But we can also treat Trae as an assistant. So the assistant going to explain how they write the code and probably give you some suggestion. Over there, you can clearly to see they help you how to set up, how to do the initialization. Also, he also tell you what is the helper function. This is the main game loop. He tell you how to call this function and make the program running, which is pretty good. Thinking about if you have a big project, so right now, right, probably it's already more than 1,000,000 line of code. You just started working on this project. You don't know too much context about this. At that time, you can just use Trae, use the context feature. Probably you can imagine Trae will be a senior engineer that he already know the project a lot and can help you to answer some question, which is pretty good. Also, we have the rules over there. So for example, you can just write your personal rule over there. You can just say, hey, you are kind personality. You will give me a lot of suggestion. So basically you can do a prompt engineer over there, or you have another project. For example, you just have a front-end project, you just don't want them to change your CSS, then you can also say it over there. Hey, don't change my design. Colors like that. So you can just basically set a command to the AI, let them to follow your lead. So this is why we designed the rule for. Also, we have different modules over there. You can just models. You can check different model information. So we also have a multi-modal ability. I will just put one example that how we use it. So for example, we just access the Trae website. Then we just take the screenshot, give Trae. Going back, for example, I just don't want this code, right? I can just going back. So you can see they will just delete the readme, delete the requirement. Basically, they will delete all the modification that this step they already made, which is pretty easy for you to do the action management. Okay, you can see like everything is like reverse. Then I tell them, I just copy and paste the image over there, and I say, hey, create a website like this. So they start to thinking. I believe it will be a big project because this website including so many components. It has the button, it has a design, it also has the navigation bar. So let's see what is going to happen. Okay, I'm going to write it. I need to check the project rules because we set some rules over there, right? So they will just follow our rule to make sure that the code they generate, it will follow our lead. Okay, then I will just click accept off. Let this AI keep running. And in the left side, we also support a lot of different extension. For example, you can just use the Jupyter, you can use the GitHub. So basically you can connect the plugin that you like to use. And then they will just like, okay, so you can see the code is generated. So as a web coder, sometimes you just don't want to think about too much detail. So Trae Agent Builder will be really helpful for you. Okay, let's click accept all. And let's go back to our slide. So when they finish, we're just going back. Okay, this is one use case about a Figma agent. So thinking about it, you already have some design on the Figma. At that time, it will be really powerful because Figma agent use the Figma MCP and then connect the design, the website, and with your IDE. So you can see when they just connect and all the design, this is a to-do list, they will just be generated by Trae, which is pretty helpful for you, especially if you're a front-end engineer over there. So if you want to build a backend engineer or you just don't want to do too much test, you can also create a testing agent just by your need. So why we build Trae? We would like to share our mission because we do believe in the future, the more important thing is how AI can work with people. This is why we want to use Trae to find the best collaboration point for people. We want to create the best collaboration experience. This is why we create a really great UI UX experience for people, because we want people that enjoy the process to react with AI. Also, we want to build the real AI engineer. This is our, the biggest vision. What we expect is Trae can not just be a tool, but can also be, like your workmate that understand you, that can work with you, can also understand what is your style, what is your personality, and just give you different response. I think that would be pretty cool. So for the next step is actually about our product. Yeah, right now, Trae is kind of like harvest machine, but in the future, we do believe it will be so many different agents work together. So in the future, I think Trae, we just going to be more powerful, and there will be more multi agent that work together. For example, there's some agent working for front end, another agent working for back end, and then maybe another agent will doing the test. And for people, they just need to use the natural language, and the AI will complete all the process. This is our, the next step that we want to do. So another thing we would like to share is the build on Trae. So we find out the AI actually make the productivity is growing so fast. So at that time, we find out that attention is like became more valuable resource. And a lot of people, they just build amazing product, but nobody know what they did. This is why we want to encourage people build in public. So if you use Trae to build anything, no matter it's an MVP, plugin, GitHub, or the hackathon product that you're just working on it, just share your journey, write a post on social media, or write an article, or just record a video. Remember, tag the build on Trae on the Twitter, Discord, different channel. So we're going to pick those good use case and repost it to give them more visibility. Because on our platform, we have so many different channels. We have our social media community. We also have our partner and the content platform. We have so many ways to let your product or let your MVP to be seen by more people. So there's some use case is actually in the left one is two creator from Canada. They just have two people. It's a really tiny team, and then they just spend 1 month launch their product by Trae on the product hunt. They get a number 4. Just in that day, they get 1,000 user on the day 1, and also one B2B offer, which is pretty good. And in the right side, you can see this is another Stanford team. This is a really young Stanford college student. They just use Trae to build their AI education tool. It's called Video Tutor. So they tag Trae and they let us know. So we just repost their product post and share their use case in the different channel. So in that day, they get a virus. They receive more than 150K views on the Twitter, and also they got more than 10 million views on the social media in total. Recently, they just smoothly to close their next round of investment. So this is why we also feel really happy. We want to find out more use cases just like that to help more young developer, young founder to be succeed in this market. This is our partnership and our ecosystem. As you can see, we have a really close relationship with Berkeley, Stanford, and CMU, their community. So we host regular AI events and hackathon in the worldwide. In the future, we also want to host more event in a different country. So if you have interest about this, just let me know. Also, Trae, we also have a lot of partnership with enterprise. For example, we have our event at the SAP. We also has our presentation in the GitHub. We have several amazing cloud company partnership like the AWS Plus and Novita. Also, some famous incubator like Plug and Play, Beta University. They will also try to help our Trae builder to be succeed. So basically, we are support a lot of founder to be succeed and help their product to be seen in our social media. Okay, so this is our social media. In the left is our Twitter. We have the Discord channel link over there. We also have the Reddit. So you can just scan the QR code in the right side. Then you can just ask any question in the Discord and share your journey on the Reddit. So this is an FAQ for the people if they running out of free plan, how they can get a higher large language model limit. So first of all, you can try to apply the Trae Pro plan, which is only $3 for the first month, or you can join our Trae Agent Hackathon to win one month higher LM limit. So if you join the Trae Discord channel and you go to the Build on Trade channel, then you will find a lot of people they basically sharing how they use Trae to build the agent. At the beginning, I just show you guys. So it's over there. So over there. So basically, you can just create your own agent. You write the prompt over there and connect with MCP that you like to use. So when you create this, you can just click create. For example, I will just like test agent. You click create, then you can click use now. You can go to, you can go to here. You click the agent and you can just click share. Then you can share them on the Twitter or copy the link in the Discord channel. So we basically going to pick those good use case and give them higher LM limit. So in that case, if you don't want to pay the pro plan, it's okay. You can still get a chance to get a higher limit. Okay, so you can see our code is already finished. Let's click run. Let's see how many code they just generated. Yeah, looks pretty good. They created some logo, they create a button, they also have the different color on this test, and people they can just like click upgrade and click download, which is really good. So this is the multimodal ability that I would like to share with you guys. Yes, that's nice. So you can use this feature to create the MCP. No, to create your MVP. Sorry for that. Okay. So yeah, another way is you can use the autocomplete to tap the code to develop the project. For example, I'm just going to show it over there. We can. So this is the interface. For example, you can see they can guess what kind of code you want to do. You can just click tab, and you can see all this code they were just generated. So everyone got more than everyone has a 5,000 time that you can use this AI generation feature to write in the code, which is really helpful. Let's going back to slide. Okay, so what if you try to paint the pro plan and you find your region and your country is not supported yet? So don't worry, you can just turn on the VPN to switch the IP. Then you can complete the payment process. Then you can continue to use Trae and enjoy the higher request. Yeah, I think that's all. So thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you got any question, and we will be in the Discord channel to answer any question for you guys. Also, we welcome you to join our Trae official channel because we already have so many amazing Trae community member. They know so many questions and they know how to solve this, which will be pretty helpful. Also, looking forward to see more guys, more people to tag us on the social media. We would like to see your amazing product that you build in this hackathon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gary. That workshop was amazing. Same as had, and hope that everybody who watched the stream really will take all the knowledge and apply it into your solutions. We really cannot see what you built, cannot wait to see what you built at this hackathon. So this is the end of our stream. Make sure you stay to do that. And remember that at 7 p.m. CET, almost now, there is a Q&A session happening. So head straight there to ask all the burning questions that you might have. And also during the whole hackathon, remember that our mentors are available to you to answer any of your questions if any arise. If you have any struggles, you can simply tag mentor and reach out for help. And remember also about the submission deadline, which is on Sunday. And if anything is clear, you can always go back to the event page of the hackathon that you use for registration, and you'll find all the necessary info in there, as well as tech pages to get to know more about tech we're using in here, which is Trae, Novita, and Zillis. And now it's time to start coding. So coders, best of luck. Take the most out of this 48 hours and see you on the winner stream. Bye, everybody.